Hello everybody, my name is Bluey, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a hidden dispenser turret trap. In order to make this hidden dispenser trap, you're going to need a few things. So let's go through them. Firstly, you're going to need a dispenser, a sticky piston, 2 redstone torches, a pressure plate, doesn't have to be stone, but I like stone, 2 hoppers, an observer, some redstone dust, a redstone repeater, a redstone comparator, an oak door, or any door, doesn't matter, as long as it's not iron, or, it could be iron, forget it, some sort of block, I'm choosing grass, a random item, and some arrows for your dispenser to shoot. Alright, so I've cleared out a little bit of space here, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you guys how to make the first part of this, which is where we are sort of making the piston go up and cover the dispenser. So let's do it like this. What we're gonna have here is we're gonna have, when you press down in here, piston's gonna go down, and so let's put the dispenser right over here, the piston right over here, and all we gotta do now is connect these two with a NOT gate. And basically what a NOT gate is if you're not pressing it, it doesn't trigger. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go out here a few blocks so that we can actually move in like this. And the reason for this is it's really simple. We're going to have a piece of redstone right here, and underneath we're going to have a redstone torch, and this basically pushes it up. But to make this a NOT gate, we need to connect it like this, so that the redstone torch is not actually powering the redstone, but when we push down on the pressure plate, it does unpower the redstone torch. So this is a pretty simple part. All you need here is just the pressure plate up here. You know what, we can just cover this up, I think. But we got the pressure plate up here, and underneath it we just want one block underneath. We got ourselves a piece of redstone trickling out, but we need it to be 2 blocks this way. The reason it's not just 1 block is because if it's 1 block, this won't connect to the redstone torch because it's not on an adjacent block. See here, I'll show you. If you end up having something like this, you'll notice that the redstone turns to meet the redstone torch. But if you have it like this, the redstone does not turn to meet the redstone torch, which is why we need to turn it manually, and that's why it has to be 2 blocks out, so that you have that space so that the redstone can turn into it. But after you go 2 blocks out, just go down enough that you're next to the piston right over here, and 1 block above this, you're going to place 1 block above the redstone torch over here, and then a piece of redstone here, which will power the piston. So that's the first part. This is just this moving down, and it is actually really simple, pretty easy to just cover up, and we're done with that part. But now comes the more complex part, and this is where the dispenser is actually shooting. So this is the part of the hidden dispenser trap where the trap actually shoots, and this is definitely a lot more complicated than what's over here, because what's here is pretty much just a simple little NOT gate that makes it so that the piston goes down when you actually step on the lever and not up when you step on the pressure plate. So now what we're going to have here is we're going to have a redstone clock over here, and we're going to have it connect to this. And you might notice a problem with this, and that's that, well, if it's connected, it'll always be firing. And that'll be not only a quite a big giveaway, right? You always hear the tink, 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 but you'll also run out of arrows, and by the time they step on the pressure plate, there'll be nothing for the arrows to shoot. So it'll be like a shock, and then, oh, nothing there, right? So the main sort of problem with just having a clock is that it'll always be shooting. So what we have to do is add a locking mechanism. And how this is gonna work is just a NOT gate. It's actually very simple. What we got here is just a grass block right here, or any block, whichever block you're using. Redstone torch. So obviously NOT gate. It'll power that off. And then so what needs to happen is this moves up to a door. Now this door is powered on. If we cut this, you'll notice that the door closes. So that is powered by this. And the main thing that you need to note here is that it's always powered by this. It'll always be like this, no matter what kind of external thing is applied to it. So, for example, let's go ahead and make ourselves a clock system. And the clock system I'm using is a hopper clock system, and this is probably the smallest clock that you can make. It works like this. You have two hoppers feeding into each other, and inside goes your random item. Now, between the hoppers, these things go. Alright, fair enough. Now to make this a clock, what happens is a redstone comparator is hooked up to a redstone repeater. And now it keeps feeding the redstone repeater signals. Now I think we're going to have to move this over one. But the reason that it's attached to the redstone repeater and not just on its own is because the signal that the comparator emits is really, really weak. It's pretty much not going to do anything. So the point of this is just that this thing gives out a strong enough signal that it connects to the door. Alright, fair enough. Now, the point of this is that close this, the door opens and closes. And that's great if you want a constantly opening and closing door, but what we want is for this to constantly power and power off the dispenser. And this is where the observer comes in. Plop an observer on and connect it to the dispenser. And when you push down on the pressure plate, it'll constantly be firing. Now you might not see this, but so let's just add a bunch of arrows and you'll notice that when you step on the pressure plate, it shoots. And that's pretty much it. This is quite simply the hidden trap. Now, these things might need to be moved around for you to be able to actually build around this, but it's pretty easy to do. And as long as you don't, break apart some of the redstone chains, you should be fine. You can move this down if necessary. You can, make a double piston extender here to make it a little higher up. But this is the basic premise of it. You just have, just the dispenser going in and the two parts. And that's basically what this is, two parts. If you just got the part that pushes it down and the part that shoots. And you just combine them together to make a hidden dispenser turret trap. Alright, so now that we've actually created our little hidden dispenser trap over here, what I want to do is show you the internal workings and how it works. I explained a little bit there, but this should go more in detail. This is the first part of it. Basically, you step on the pressure plate and it powers this piece of redstone, connecting down 2 blocks wide specifically, and down into this, the redstone torch. And the redstone torch, when not powered, unpowered, when powered, turns on this redstone, which powers this, and that covers it up. When you press down on the pressure plate, it effectively makes a NOT gate. It turns this off, turning this off, turning this off, opening this up. And that's the main idea here. Now, here is the second part. This is just the clock and the dispenser. And now what happens is, obviously, the redstone hooked, it's the same piston right here, it's just hooked to the other side. And you have a redstone NOT gate right here. And the point of the NOT gate is to keep this thing closed. Basically, as long as this is on, it's locked. This clock will not do anything to power this. And that's basically the only reason this NOT gate is here. And this clock, I think we covered this in the last section, where the arrow is constantly moving in and out, or whatever item you put in here. And it's just constantly powering these two, constantly powering the door, Well, basically it's just turning it on and off. It's just a simple clock. Honestly, it's a really handy clock for really tight spaces, and it's really easy to use. But yeah, so it's really helpful right here, and as you can see, it just shoots it out right there. But this is connected to the door, and when this NOT gate is turned off, the door will respond to this, not to this, because it'll just open and close according to this. And this observer will recognize this, and using the input from the door, it'll power this redstone, which connects to the dispenser, which inside, there are the arrows, and they shoot out and hit whoever's up here. Now here's them to combine together. This is basically what we made over there. It's just, right, it's just you step on the pressure plate, and then these two, the only real difference is that these two are connected. They're all in one. There's still the same NOT gate right here. They're honestly the only real connection that is made between these two parts of the hidden dispenser trap are basically this right here, this little connecting joint that makes it so that both of these work. Other than that, there is nothing. These are completely separate. This piece of redstone right here does not connect in any way to the clock or the dispenser firing part. So it's basically two builds connected by one piece of redstone. And that's basically it. This is the hidden dispenser trap. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. If you didn't enjoy the video, I don't know why you wouldn't, but okay. But if you did enjoy the video, then leave a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, as always. That's all for me. I'll see you guys in the next video.